Good as a goal, but it's not the same.
No, it's not.
No, he was always going to say that one.
It was, to be fair, it was one of the best blocks that I've ever seen. It was an amazing block, but no, it's not as good as a goal.
Talking of goal scoring, Andy Robertson has just said to us live at Anfield, he thinks that was one of the best Liverpool goals from Mo Salah. Well, let's hear from the man himself.
It was great to watch. What was it?
He's now scored in his last 7 Premier League Liverpool games in all competitions, his best run joint in his Liverpool career. Let's go back to Anfield. As Michael rightly said, John Barnes scored some terrific goals down the years. Andy Robertson just said he thinks that's one of the best in a Liverpool shirt by Mo Salah. Would you go along with that?
I think so, and particularly in the game of this magnitude. But it's interesting, his comment that he can't remember it and he has to see it again, which I completely understand, because when you score a goal like that, you're really just reacting to people in front of you. You're not really thinking about what you're doing. So therefore, if you ask him what he did, I'm sure he would say, I'm not really sure, because you're reacting to people in front of you. You're just acting instinctively. You're not really thinking about it. And when you actually see the goal back, so when he sees it back, it's like having an out-of-body experience. You won't remember. Listen, Michael doesn't know that, because Michael has one touches in the back of the net 500 times, so he knows what he's doing. But when you actually score a goal by dribbling like that, you're really just reacting. You're really not thinking about what you're doing. So as much as people are going to say, he must know what he did, I completely empathise with what he said.
Yeah, I mean, to talk with authority about that, you've really got to do it for England in the Maracanã against Brazil, haven't you?
Or against Argentina. One or the other.
No, but seriously, I say the same thing. I do not remember the goal against Argentina.
I
have to see it on television, and then I kind of like say, well, I kind of remember it. But if you ask me straight after, what was I doing? It was just really just versus close your eyes and hope, basically.
Strange that, because Michael never stopped talking about that one against Argentina. He remembers every second.
Michael's different. Michael's different. He's always composed in front of goal.
For all 3 games this week, even if we lost in PSG, we played well. But we played against very good teams with great opposition. And, you know, the way we played was really good.
Kevin, Michael Owen, I was just wondering if you could give us an insight into an away player's sort of feeling and experience of playing at Anfield. We all hear people saying that Anfield's a bit different to other stadiums. What was that intensity? What is the atmosphere like for an away player?
Well, I think the first half we did really well to keep them quiet. Obviously, when they scored the 1-0 and the 2-1, it was really loud. But I think the way we reacted was good. You know, it can be a little bit daunting, but I think we are used to playing against the big teams for the big trophies. So every team has a big audience. And maybe it's a little bit different after what happened last year, playing with no crowds. But I can only look at the reaction of the players, and that was good. So I like to play in this intensity.
I was just about to say, these are the games every top player wants to play in, because you two have obviously won the title in each of the last 4 seasons. You've been the 2 top teams. When you go head-to-head, you never disappoint.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to see these games, and I think whatever happens, whoever wins these games, the intensity, the football is from high quality, I think. And, you know, I think even for neutrals, it was a good game. So I think we had a hard schedule this month, but we did well, and now we have to go on and do the same.
It's been some week for you, hasn't it?
It was.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Well done today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Kevin De Bruyne, live for you at Anfield at the end of that incredible game. And let's just go back to the start of the second half, because in a moment we have to nip back to Anfield. Brilliant to be joined live by the Liverpool defender Andy Robertson. We'll say the same thing, Andy. Great game to watch. What on earth was it like to play in the level of intensity today?
An intense game. 2 good teams going at it. You know, it's tough when you play against Man City always, and you know, first half I didn't think we were quite there. We weren't quite as good on the ball that we can be, but I think you know, second half we were a lot better, a lot more composed, created chances. When you go in front in these games, you have to try and keep it, and unfortunately we didn't manage that. But you know, I think over the piece, a draw is probably a fair result.
Andy, Michael Owen, I was just wondering, first half Manchester City, as you say, were quite dominant, and it totally changed in the second half. What was the little change that you made in that second half?
Yeah, I think that was, you know, we knew they were going to come and press, but I think the first half we didn't quite outplay that press. You know, we weren't maybe as composed on the ball as we can be, and when you do that, you know, you can kind of get through them sometimes, and we managed to do that. I think in the second half our press was a lot more aggressive as well. you know, when you do that and you win the ball back in dangerous areas, we won a couple of free kicks high up, we won the ball back a couple of times and countered, you know, their counter-attack, which makes a huge difference. And I think that's where the kind of goals come from. And, you know, when that happens, you put them under pressure. No team likes being put under pressure. So I think second half, that was the difference. And that's why we were probably closer to them in the second half.
Andy, Shay Given here, just from my Man City head on, do you think James was a bit lucky, James Milner, to stay on the pitch? Because Guardiola was going mental on the sidelines. I don't know if he was near you, I think, at that time.
Nah, not a booking for me, Shay. My God, it's like, it's one of, for me, you know, honestly, obviously Millie got booked in the first half, but it's one of the games that, you know, I think the ref, you know, done well in terms of the whole game. I think tackles went, you know, he kind of let tackles go without bookings in either team. But of course, when somebody is on a booking, it gets heightened. But, you know, for us, I think that was his first tackle after the booking, and maybe I'm a wee bit old school in that I don't think every tackle should be a booking. But of course, I'm going to say that. I can maybe see why they're annoyed. But, you know, for us, I don't think it was a second booking. And then obviously we kind of react on that because I think Millie was definitely on his last warning at that point, and then, you know, we could manage to bring Joe Gomez on.
And you were right behind that Mo Salah goal. I mean, we keep having conversations about Mo Salah, Andy, and you see him day in, day out. Where is he for you in world football right now when you see him do something like that today in a fixture like that?
Look, he's right up there for me. I still think he's, you know, incredibly underrated in terms of the way people speak about him. The goal is something out of the top drawer. You know, it's just a shame that it wasn't the winning goal, because it certainly deserved it. In a high game full of quality, two teams full of really good players, for somebody to pop up with that, it really is sensational. And Mo's an incredible pro, you know, he's an incredible footballer, an incredible person, and off the pitch he works so hard to keep fit, to stay, you know, in the shape that he is, to put everything into his game and to improve. And, you know, he's getting better and better every season, but that goal was, I think, right up there with his best for Liverpool. And for him to keep producing season after season, it's incredible, his consistency, and long may that continue. But, you know, like I said, it's just a shame for us that it wasn't the winning goal.
Indeed, but what about the atmosphere at that point inside Anfield for a game where you're going head-to-head again with the only other team to win the title in the last 4 years?
Yeah, look, you know, last season, I think every team missed their fans, you know, no more than us. You know, at Anfield it can be an incredible atmosphere, and, you know, the noise that was made throughout the game. But, you know, obviously when that goal went in, I think it heightened. I think everyone was in shock. But, you know, like I said, I just wish it was a winning goal, but we didn't quite manage to hold on, and that's a disappointment from our point of view. But look, the fans always stay with us. They're incredible, especially here away from home. You know, our away end's always packed, and, you know, we never ever take that for granted. It's incredible the support you receive from this club, and that's what gives us an extra yard. And today they stuck with us during a tough first half, and second half they pushed us on. And, you know, like I said, they've been great to get the win for them, but, you know, there'll be hopefully a lot more good days and nights here, and you know, we'll need them this whole season. Indeed, I understand that. And just finally, sometimes when you're playing against your rivals, is it important in these games, particularly at home, not to lose it with the fine margins later on in the season? Yeah, look, you know, there's that many people in the race just now, but of course, you know, usually if you finish above Man City, you're doing not too bad in the, you know, at the last standing. So, you know, when you play against them, we always go into games, especially at Anfield, to win. We want to stay on top, and, you know, when you do get the lead in these games, we probably needed to see out the game a wee bit better. But like you said, it's important. If you don't win, then it's so important not to lose. You know, you don't want them gaining any ground, and by, you know, kind of making it honours even, you do that. So it's important now we try and kick on. You know, it's been a start where everyone's there, here and there. It's always kind of like that the first 7-8 games, and now it's going into a point where, you know, you get a run of games, and when you do that, it's important that you're consistent, you keep picking up points, and then it starts opening up a wee bit. Great to talk to you again, Andy. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Andy Robertson live for you at Anfield. That was 2-2. We were talking about